What is fucking good, YouTube? This is the first video of the channel, bro. So this shit is staying up on the channel, no matter how cringe or shitty the video is. It's more for me to actually just start fucking posting, right? But this video is going to be about why your self-identity is the single most important thing and why it's the main contributing factor that's holding you back from success, right? So, first of all, you must understand that, and a lot of people won't believe this, whoever's watching, due to their limiting beliefs, but your external world, the reality that you live in, is nothing but a reflection, nothing but a mirror of your internal state. You have to fucking ingrain that into your brain, bro. And let me say it one more time. Your external reality is nothing but a reflection of your internal state. And a great quote is, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." And what they mean by in his heart is related to the subconscious mind, right? So, first of all, what is your self-identity? It's how you subconsciously perceive and view yourself to be, like how you feel and see yourself in this world. It's your internal image, it's your internal story that you give yourself. And this includes all of your deep-rooted beliefs, thoughts, emotions, convictions, expectations about yourself, right? So you can kind of think about self-identity like this. It is your core program that is constantly running on a 24/7, 365 basis, which controls all of your behaviors, your emotions, your actions, your outcomes in this world. And a lot of people think like things will just happen randomly to them, or they'll get lucky, or they're unlucky, or oh, that's a coincidence, right? There's no fucking coincidences in this world, in this reality. Everything is tied back to your self-identity, to your self-concept, to your subconscious mind. And this is powerful shit, and most people like won't believe this. Most people will be like, you're fucking crazy, but that's just how this world works. And I may be wrong, but these are powerful teachings that the ancients talked about, from Egypt, from Greece, from Rome. This is powerful knowledge that comes and dates back to the ancient times. So, and personally, I believe they knew what the fuck they were talking about, bro. They were more advanced than us. But anyways, back to the identity. How does your subconscious mind tie into your identity, right? So your subconscious mind basically stores your self-concept as a compilation of deeply ingrained, like I said, beliefs, emotions, felt truths about yourself. And you have to realize 95% of your decision making on a day-to-day basis is all dictated by your subconscious. Unless you become extremely conscious, extremely self-aware of what you're doing. But most people don't operate like that. Now, I want to say probably 98% of people, ordinary people, live their life from an identity installed during their childhood, and from trauma, and from all the other social programming from their parents, teachers, coaches, friends, schools, family, government, news, whatever the fuck it is. They're basically operating from that programming, and that's why they're getting the results that they get in their life. It all ties back to your self-identity. And so if you want a new life, if you want new things in your life, if you want to reach your goals, you must consciously reinvent the subconscious in order to actually change, in order to shift your life, in order to obtain anything new. And you have to think about it like this. Like, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You are exactly where you are because of your past actions, your past behaviors, your past thoughts, your past emotions, your perceptions, expectations, reactions, beliefs, whatever the fuck, right? Which are all a composition of your self-identity. And so another thing that a lot of people do, and myself included, I believed was the only way to change your life or change your external world is through taking action. It's through doing different things. And now, of course, that's part of the fucking equation. You have to do different things. But what I've come to the realization of is, what was I going to say? Taking action without the right aligned beliefs, you're always going to fall back to your old ways. So if you take action, let's just take this for example. The gym is the easiest analogy. Getting fit is the easiest analogy. And this goes back to like why everyone makes New Year's resolutions and they always fall back on their promises. They always self-sabotage. And trust me, bro, I've been a victim of self-sabotage before. It's fucking, yeah, it's been bad, bro. But just part of the journey. And it's led me to learning this type of wisdom, which has actually changed my life. So, take for example like this. You have the person who sets, their goal of, losing 50 pounds, getting shredded, that Greek god physique, six-pack, everything. And they say, I'm going to start going to the gym 5 times a week. And, I'm going to start running. I'm going to start eating healthy, setting all these high expectations. Right? The right actions in order to become fit. But they still subconsciously, deep down, believe that they're unhealthy, that they're fat as fuck, that they're lazy, that all of these things, right? All of these deep-rooted beliefs. And in turn, maybe they go to the gym for 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, but eventually they fall off if they don't change their self-concept of themselves. And so you always act and behave in accordance to your self-identity, who you subconsciously perceive yourself to be. I know I've already said that, but it's fucking important. And this is a quote that I like. There can be no outer change until there is first an inner change. Right? For me personally, I used to eat a shit ton of junk food. Fucking binged junk food, sodas, candies, all of this shit. Was pretty chubby. Not fat, but fucking out of shape. Pale as fuck, etc. Right? And I remember first looking in the mirror okay, I gotta fucking change, you know what I mean? So I started doing these bullshit workouts, ab crunches, etc. Then I fell off. But it wasn't until I actually changed the perception of myself to be a healthy individual. It isn't until I changed my self-identity of becoming healthy that I was actually starting to be consistent with the behaviors and actions that it takes to become healthy, right? Staying consistent with the diet, staying consistent with the gym, all et cetera, right? So there can be no outer change until there is first an inner change, okay? Now, that goes into the concept that I learned recently of being instead of wanting, okay? Now, this is actually when I first learned about this, I had a big eye-opening moment. The door fucking opened. Because for so long, I was craving my goals. I was always super goal-focused, but I never really took the right actions, the aligned actions to my goals. Or I was, and then I fell off, etc., right? But you must convince yourself of being rich before you become rich. You must convince yourself of being healthy before you become healthy. You must convince yourself of being disciplined, or actually, you must convince yourself of being blank before you actually become blank, right? And you can really extrapolate that into anything in your life. And so, wanting success is never going to make you successful, because wanting signals to the universe that you are in lack, that you don't actually have what you're desiring, right? Now, it's not bad to have goals, to have desires, but you have to shift your perception. And what I mean by this is you must convince your subconscious that you already have whatever it is that you desire or that you want. So if it's a certain income goal, if it's a certain physique, if it's a certain perception of yourself, or not that, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You must convince your subconscious that you have your desire before it actually materializes in this world. And so the person who wants success never gets it, but the person who is successful in their mind will eventually get that success. So you must shift your focus. Like, a lot of people focus on external results. They only focus on, oh, fuck, I want to make that 10K per month. Oh, I need that house. I need that watch. I need that girl. I need that physique, right? They always focus on external results. You need to completely shift your focus from external results to your internal image. That's the only thing you should be focusing on, right? Now, it's great to have goals. It's great to have desires, right? We all have them. But once you actually figure out what those things are specifically, you kind of need to forget about them, in a way. So, yeah, this is the first video. I kind of rambled, but I just, this video is more for me than anything else, to just fucking get this shit out on the channel. Check out this beautiful fucking sunset. Actually, yeah. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but beautiful fucking sunset. But anyways, I'm gonna give you guys some action steps that's really helped me in the past. So first action step is you must do an internal audit on yourself. You must become self-aware. Awareness is fucking key, bro. Awareness is key. So some things that you can do. So, like, pause this fucking video and actually do this step, because this is a very important thing as well that I've struggled with in the past a lot, is actually just fucking taking action, bro. You can do all the learning, you can read all the books, you can watch all the videos, you can buy all the courses. But if you don't actually sack up and put yourself out there, put yourself in the unknown, in the discomfort, you're never going to achieve results. So action is necessary. It's a necessary part of getting to where you want to go. Of course, the identity and mastering the mind and all of that is like the number one thing, right? But action, without action, you're never going to get to where you want to go, right? And so first, get a sheet of paper and write this shit down. You first have to discover your present self, discover your current identity. And some questions that you can ask yourself are, who do I believe I am at the deepest level? What story do I tell myself about my limitations? Another great question is, if my identity was a movie character, would I be the hero, the side character, the background extra? Like, what character are you actually portraying, and why? Another great question would be like, oh, if I overheard someone talking about myself, or if I overheard someone talking about me, what would I assume that they're saying? Because this is uncovering those subconscious beliefs, because there's a blockage, bro, when you try to think about your limitations or whatever sometimes, and really doing the internal work. But these are the types of questions you must ask yourself in order to uncover those deep-rooted beliefs, right? And there's not one way to do anything, so you can kind of do this however you choose, but these are some questions that help me. And then also, write down what actions I'm taking on a fucking daily basis, weekly, monthly basis, right? Map out the entire day of what you do, bro. Literally carry a fucking notebook with you throughout the entire day and Every tiny thing that you do, write down. This is how you uncover the unconscious. And also, with the actions you're taking, you have to realize the emotions that you experience on a day-to-day basis, and also the thoughts that you experience on a day-to-day basis, right? Most people aren't gonna fucking do this. Most people aren't gonna take the time to even take out a sheet of paper and write these things down. Most people aren't gonna take the time to carry a notebook around with them for one day and actually become self-aware of what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. But the people who do are the people who are gonna get results. Right, so that's the first thing, bro. Actually becoming aware of your present identity, right? And then after you do that, write down your desired self, your desired identity, right? So first, what are your goals? What does a normal day look like if I already have achieved my goals, right? Just envision like, okay, if I already have achieved my goals, what does my day look like? Or what does my day look like to get to my goals, right? How would I act if I already achieved my goals? What are the thoughts I would think? How would I treat myself? How would I treat others if I already achieved my goals? What are the emotions I would feel? This is the most powerful one. What are the emotions I would feel if I've already achieved my desires? And also, what are the actions I'd be taking, right? So map that out as well. Your desired self in detail. And get fucking detailed with your goals, bro. Don't just write down like, oh, I want a new car, right? You have to be fucking detailed with your goals. So yeah, be fucking detailed. Now the third action step I would recommend is meditation, bro. I know you've probably heard this before, but almost every single successful person I've listened to, read, studied, they all meditate, right? They all take time to themselves to be in silence, to uncover what's inside of them, right? Because a lot of people don't know, but a lot of the information, a lot of the guidance that you're seeking can be found from within, and that's through your intuition. But you have to tap into your intuition the right way, and I'll make a separate video on that as well. We're gonna have a lot of videos coming out, but yeah, start meditating at least 10-15 minutes daily. Morning is the best, I think, but do it whenever. But some necessary things are, you have to be sitting in silence, no music, no news, no nothing, sitting in silence or in nature, right? With the waves crashing, you know what I mean? And eyes closed and extreme comfort are a must. So for me personally, like when I first started meditating, I couldn't stay consistent because I was doing the fucking Buddha pose, you know what I mean? And it was extremely uncomfortable, bro, because of my back. So I just started laying down, and it's the method. So you have to be extremely comfortable, whether that's, your rocking chair, you're laying in your bed, laying on the grass, whatever it is. You have to be extremely comfortable, and your eyes must be closed. Breathe normal. Don't fucking, you know what I mean. It's pretty simple. You just sit there in silence, and don't fight your thoughts either. Do not judge them or categorize them as good or bad. Just let them be, bro. Just let your thoughts be, right? And once you can make meditation a habit as well, it's something that you're doing on a daily basis, and it might be hard at first, of course, but it gets easier as time goes on. Then you're gonna start, the fourth action step is to start implementing visualizations. This is important shit too. Start implementing visualizations. So start visualizing your desired self. And the best time to do this is before bed. Don't even do this while you're meditating. Just do this as a separate action. Every time you go to bed, whenever we go to bed, we're always thinking about something. So just completely shift your thoughts and your focus on your desired self. That's all you have to do, bro. That's all you have to fucking do before you go to bed, or as you're going to bed. Shift your thoughts from random shit to your desired self, to your goals. Concentrate as much as you can, and concentrate and imagine what it would be like, but most importantly, what it would feel like, as if you've already, as if you're already living in your desired reality as your desired self, right? Feeling is the most important part. So do this every night before bed, and this will reprogram your subconscious. And yeah, I kind of rambled throughout this video, but hope you guys enjoyed. A lot more is going to be coming. And this is just the fucking start. This is just the journey, or this is the start of the journey. No edits on this motherfucker. Completely raw. And yeah, peace out, boys.